What attracted you to journalism?
I think telling the real stories that matter to most people. Because, I mean, look, news organizations are great, and all news organizations have their pros and cons, like all organizations. But I think there's a real gap with telling human interest stories in reporting. And I felt like there's obviously incredible journalists out there who are doing it. Some not so incredible journalists who are not doing it. But also, I feel like had I seen someone like me who maybe speaks like me a little bit, like obviously forget the when I've got my posh voice on, but you know, like one of those speaks a little bit who like
3 tequilas in your voice,
exactly on a Saturday night, and she goes, but like someone who's like maybe presents themselves a little bit like I do, not a robot, basically someone who's not a robot, and I thought it's me, or like someone like me, and if not me, someone like me, but also preferably me, because there could be more than one, just like there's more than one robot. So yeah, that's why.
So like, what does journalism actually mean to you? Because I don't know, I guess I've become a little bit concerned that we've like lost as a society the understanding of like what a journalist is meant to do. So like, what does that mean to you?
To me, if I'm speaking from a totally personal perspective and not displaying the views of my employer, is to
Yeah, we should make that clear. This is all your perspective.
This is all me.
Yeah.
It's
so anyone that wants to sue, straight to you.
Oh please, yes, you can take the £5.25 in my bank account gladly. And she goes, but I think what I would say is journalism is really just being representative, really. If I had to say, it's just being representative of society, telling the stories that matter in the most representative way that you can. And it's true, because I feel like journalism can be more representative. Like, there's loads of stuff that, I mean, this is the whole thing I do say on my Twitter, isn't it? Where I'm like, there's so much that goes on in the halls of Westminster that real people don't really recognize. And I'll share it on my Instagram and everyone will be like, oh my god, wow. And I'm like, or like I'll break it down to my friends in language we understand, and they're like, oh my god, you know that. For example, today there might be a cabinet reshuffle. What's his face, our education secretary?
I wasn't on Twitter today.
Yeah, but like Gavin Williamson, the education secretary, he's still suffering from the fallout of the A-level results yesterday. He's been tipped to replace. There've been many rumours. He'll be replaced by the Equalities Minister, Kemi Badenoch. Maybe in early, not now, so we can all calm our rampant excitement. It's going to be early next year. But like, that's huge news. That's going to be the first black woman who's also a Tory who's in the cabinet. But she's also controversial herself. But also the entire government's education policy has been called into question. And should we? Yeah. We should care about who's going to be in charge of future students' grades, shouldn't we? Like, we should definitely care about that.
Yeah, this year's kind of shown how much you can fuck it up.
Yeah, and these are people's entire livelihoods. Like, as much, so, you know, it's so important that it just gets brushed under the carpet. And when it gets brushed under the carpet, that means there's no accountability. And that's a big problem.
Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the podcast. Don't forget our sponsor, ExpressVPN, and my book, Brexit, The Establishment Civil War, can both be found in the links in the description below. And also, please like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. It's the best way to help us grow. Until next time, thanks for listening. Screw the hedge funds.
You can make as many rules as you want, but if there's no teeth behind them, what's the point?
Well, like Citadel is potentially just gone in a few months. It feels like financial institutions, that they are all laughing at us by buying GME. Screw the hedge funds. Like, I will lose my entire investment if it brings them down.
Why on earth, last May, could you buy the entire company for $200 million?
What's been happening on Reddit and in social media and in the marketplace has never been seen before.
I argue that nothing is off the table. There is nothing off the table when dealing with the volumes of money in something as big as the United States stock market.
The hedge funds have clearly underestimated a group of people raised on Friday night World of Warcraft raids.
Dark pools, they're another mechanism to manipulate and cheat. Mainstream journalists don't say these things for a number of reasons. One is their sources are the people that I'm talking about, and so they can't call somebody a crook.
Superstonk and the other communities that have emerged are a hive mind, the likes of which we have never seen before. It's madness and brilliance, insanity and genius all rolled into one. It's very possible that Citadel will be gone in a few months, and not just Citadel, but the entire financial system has the potential to come crashing down. These crooks continue to gamble recklessly with the world economy, and this could be the moment that they finally get their justice.